What's going on, guys?
You tell us. That's a bit of a shocker. How did you come to that decision?
Um, we were looking at a couple guys at that point, and one of the guys we wanted at the time was taken, and so Bruno was one of our next guys, and we decided we lost one. We were not going to lose the second one, so we jumped on it. We've been in this thing, you try to get picks and you try to trade up and down, and it's a difficult thing to do on draft day. So when that happened, we just decided to go with our second guy.
How did you first hear about Bruno?
Our scouts have done a great job. We try to look for talent around the world, and at Basketball Without Borders first, he was MVP of that camp, and we just kept tracking. And there was a tournament in Brazil in December, and a couple of our scouts went, and they thought he was intriguing enough, and they came back and they told us, and I went down to see him, and that's kind of how it started. So from Basketball Without Borders, and then that tournament in December, and then we just kept going to see him.
Obviously, this is a name that surprised a lot of people. Did you not think he would be there at 37 as the reason taking him now, and do you expect him to be at Summer League?
He'll be at Summer League. I think he'll be here tomorrow. And yes, he'll be at Summer League. Yeah, with these things, like you start to hear, like different things, and picks are so. It's so hard to trade to get picks, So when you start to hear that the guy could be gone at certain places, and we started to hear in the late first round, sometimes it gets frustrating where like you don't get the picks that you want, and you lose a guy, and that happened to us earlier. So we felt, okay, if he's second on our board, then let's be aggressive now. So he's a few years away, but he's a talent that I think at the end of the day we'll be happy that we picked, and we'll develop him, and we're excited that we got a talent like that.
So often in the draft, you see teams looking towards seniors and juniors, more experience, considered more NBA ready as you get later. And usually the higher upside guys go much earlier in the draft. How did you come to the decision that you wanted an upside guy at 20 in the past? My philosophy is when you pick them higher, like there's so much pressure put on them a little bit, like with those high picks. But maybe in the 20s we can get a guy that he knows we're going to develop him, and it's going to take time, and it's a learning curve. So we'll take that time and wait for him to develop, rather than sometimes these guys are picked too high, and it's expectation and expectation, it's going to take Bruno a while, but I'm sure when you see him, you feel like the excitement we feel, like of having a young player like that loves to work, is a basketball junkie, just loves to absolutely play basketball all day. So I think that would be fun for our team, another young player like that. But a 6'9" wing with a 7'6.5" wingspan,
you know, like shoots the ball with good confidence, you know, like, and needs to gain weight. You know, I think there's some good upside there, and I think later on, like in the 20s where we were, you know, like maybe it's a good risk to take.
You said you were tracking him in Basketball Without Borders. How long ago was that?
He was in Basketball Without Borders last year.
2013 at some point?
Yes.
I know it's not a popularity contest, but was this a tough pick to make because, you know, he's so unknown to so many people?
No, you know, like for me, I said I'll go with the best talent that we felt available. We did our due diligence, you know. I went to Brazil 3 times, you know, to see him. Jeff went a couple times. Our scouts went a few times to see him. So we felt comfortable. A few days ago, we went, took Coach Casey, and we went, we worked him out. Coach Casey and Jama worked him out and felt comfortable too. So I think, yeah, we're not looking. I'm not here trying to be popular. You know, like it's not. That's not what it is. I'm trying to look out for the organization long term, and I think long term we'll look at Bruno and say, you know, at least he has a chance as a young player to develop with this ball club.
Do you expect him to be on the roster next year?
Yes.
So it doesn't matter that you start his clock or whatever?
No, it doesn't. I think this development is important for him, where he's getting used to, I think, used to the facilities, used to the training. He's going to fly in tomorrow. We'll have, I'm sure at some point he'll meet you guys, maybe Saturday. Yeah, he'll work out on Saturday, meet you guys, and then we're going to send him to LA to go work out with Damar and Terrence and Amir and all those guys who will be all working out like next week, and let's get to know them a little bit. And get him on weights. I know Johnny Lee is going to go over there and get him on some food. Feed him a little bit.
What about your 37th pick? You have your Danos. What caught your attention with that?
Now I think obviously national champion. We're looking at, you know, we're looking at big wings. You know, we try to get a couple others, but I think they were gone before we picked. But with this kid, we see a little bit of upside where he can develop, and national champion, knows how to win, and we'll see how it grows. We're excited about him too. He's gonna be in LA working out, and he'll play with us in summer league, and we'll see, make a decision there. But it's a good chance he'll be playing overseas or maybe in the D League.
What would it have been like for you to have, I know that there was obviously talk about you getting Ennis on the team somehow, having a Canadian on your roster, knowing, you know, where we are and everything, is that important to you, or do you think about that at all? I mean, obviously you're going for the best player and what you need, but you know, the significance of having a Canadian on your team, just talk a little bit about that if it were to come to it.
It's very significant, you know, like I know it kind of seems like it's not a downer, you know, like it seems I think that was the expectation. You try, you know, like, and Ennis was a target for us, but you know, like it was picked by another team, and we will have Canadians on our team. But definitely we will have Canadian players on our team. They're all over the league now. Last two first picks have been Canadian, so there is development here. We'll figure that part out, you know. But we tried and it didn't work out this time. But we're glad there are a lot of them in the league, and eventually we'll get a couple Canadians here. Trust me, they'll come. We'll get them here.
What are you hoping for from your 59th pick for this summer or beyond?
I don't think I can comment on the 59th pick now because we ended up not keeping it, but I can't comment on that for now. But we didn't have it. We moved it.
Any questions? Thanks.